It's a watershed moment for global trade. US President Donald Trump announced universal 10% tariffs on all imports into the US. For some countries, this could be as high as 50%. As the world begins to wake up to the news of these staggering tariffs, Australian Prime Minister Anthony Albanese said it was totally unwarranted.
The administration's tariffs have no basis in logic, and they go against the basis of our two nations partnership. This is not the act of a friend. Today's decision will add to uncertainty in the global economy.
On the other side of the Atlantic, the EU is one of the US's closest allies and partners. The bloc was hit with a 20% tariff on all imports. Italian Prime Minister Giorgia Meloni was the first EU leader to respond to the news. In a statement on Facebook, she said,
"The introduction of tariffs towards the European Union by the USA is a measure that I consider wrong and that does not suit any party. We will do everything we can to work a deal with the United States, aiming to prevent a trade war that would inevitably weaken the West in favour of other global actors."
The Irish Prime Minister Micheál Martin said there was no justification for the measures. For many economists and political pundits, these sweeping tariffs will have a negative impact. The stock market was already rattled after Trump's announcement. Others say they threaten to push much of the world into an economic recession.
If the EU and other countries retaliate, the loss to the global economy will be 1.4 trillion. That is trillion with a T, dollars. This is one of the most, in addition to being economically illiterate speeches, it is accompanied by one of the most economically damaging actions that have been taken since the last round of high tariffs, which was in the 1930s, which helped lead to the Great Depression.
But Trump called it Liberation Day, promising these measures will pay off for the US. As governments and economists digest and dissect the news, it's still unclear how those affected will counter these tariffs.